to that point, what like new young kids that are up and coming now, or even like, the Harry Styles, like the people that are kind of, in their 20s, maybe early 30s, like who do you guys like and think have a lot of
Bruno Mars is great.
Yeah.
Certainly, love him. He's
Yeah.
got a really classic vibe,
Yeah.
great entertainer.
Yeah.
He's for us all being R&B influenced, we really like him. I mean,
Yeah.
The Weeknd's got some cool stuff. He sort of has a little Michael Jackson-y edge to him, style.
Harry Styles is killing.
Harry Styles is amazing.
I honestly, Harry Styles, coming from a boy band and to be able to do what he's doing and to have the following that he has, and selling out consecutive dates, and he's another one to the point that I was trying to make. He's out there. He's out there performing for his people, and I have an enormous amount of respect for that individual. And then the ability to go and do and act has always been something that was very close to me. And the idea that he's able to do that on such a big level, also, I have a lot of respect for Harry Styles.
Yeah, and for me too, also Ed Sheeran. My kids always really loved Ed, and I love him as a songwriter, but. Maybe a year and a half ago, we were all in South Africa and we were performing there, and we heard that he was coming. And so, we made some phone calls and got a chance to go to the show. And this cat, is in a stadium, y'all, sold out for 3 nights in a row. And it's just him and a loop machine and his guitar.
It's so cool the way he does it.
Yes.
It's so awesome.
I was really like blown away, by guys' hits. He was very gracious when I got a chance to meet him, and I love to meet people who are good people, behind the scenes. And so, I root for him and a lot of, these young cats.
They say don't meet your heroes, but it's always awesome when you do meet someone in the business
and they're a good
and they
person.
don't let you down.
Yeah.
Who are your guys' heroes? Like, who do you, if you could record a duet with anyone living or dead, like who would it be? Like, who do you guys kind of look up to in the business?
Well, we were fortunate to get to work with Stevie Wonder, who is one of our heroes, and he couldn't have been cooler. I mean, it was just everything you would imagine how Stevie Wonder would be. He was all that and more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, same here. I got a chance to produce a song with Stevie, and I got a chance to spend like 2 weeks at his studio with him every day, just like talking and playing music for each other and him giving me advice. But I've patterned a lot of who I am after him. And of course, for me, if I could, Donny Hathaway and Prince would be, right there.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Those are good
Those
ones.
are great.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, Boyz II Men,
Yeah.
Brian McKnight,
Yeah.
Joe. We got to collaborate with Joe, big fan of his. He's an underrated, singer, amazing singer. All those really great vocalists that inspired us. Blackstreet, Teddy Riley. I mean, the list is long, and then classic rock groups, Journey,
Oh yeah.
all those, Foreigner.
Queen.
Yeah,
I love Queen.
I would have loved to sing with Whitney.
Uh,
I think she's just incredible, and even and she's timeless. I Want to Dance with Somebody is my favorite song of the '80s. So the idea that to be able to sing with her, that would have been great.
Wow. Do you guys get starstruck? Like you mentioned, Stevie Wonder, you work with Stevie Wonder. Like, have you ever met someone, any of you, where you're just totally starstruck, whether it's music or sports or, yeah? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of my most embarrassing moments is when we met Harrison Ford. We were at, was it Regis and Kathy Lee at that point?
Yeah.
And, he was on the show the next day. He was pre-taping, and we just performed and walked out, and we were walking up to, it's Han Solo and Indiana Jones. I mean, it's like some of the most iconic roles of our childhood.
yeah.
And I didn't want to seem like just like some common fan. So I just walk up to him and I say, American Graffiti.
He just looked at it.
That was it. It was the first movie he was in. He basically had like 3 lines. It was like, but I wanted to show that I was like a true fan.
I don't know this movie.
You really nailed that.
And Harrison Ford looked at me like I was the biggest asshole. And I was just like, I am still, my heart hurts thinking about how Han Solo was so disappointed in my response.
Well, look, I mean, we all have these stories, but Jerry Rice is a legendary football player, and I fell off a riser trying to shake his hand. So that was pretty embarrassing as well.
Well, I got one for y'all. So if you know me, you know I am the biggest Prince fan you'll ever meet, right? And I think it was the American Music Awards. And I don't know if y'all remember, they said, hey, it's the 10th anniversary, whatever it was, of We Are the World. And Prince said, well, I won't sing, but I'll stand up there. And he stand up there with a lollipop. Well, if you look 2 rows behind him. I'm staring at him like, we are the world. And then I forgot to sing because I was too busy looking at him. And then I started singing again because like, oh, I probably look like a stalker on TV, but I was about to tackle him.
Yeah, I was at Michael's final performance in New York, and I got a chance to meet him at the Tavern on the Green. Wow. And that was really one of them. And oh man. All right, sorry. I just remembered like the moment for a second, and he was talking to Aaron Carter actually at the time when I actually ended up meeting him. And so I'm sorry, but I ended up interrupting their conversation, and he ended up coming and telling me that he loved what I was doing and he loved the show and obviously making the band. And it was one of those moments that they're so surreal that they sort of like, they're almost too big to sort of identify. Like it was just such it was this moment that you never thought would happen, and then it happens, and then you're identified as, well, I would never consider myself a peer, but someone that he knew of. And that was a moment for me. And then obviously it just kind of went to a whole different place because we just lost Aaron Carter. And I just remember he was talking to Aaron right as I interrupted him and that. But wow. I mean, that was a moment for sure.
Wow. And Michael Jackson knew what making the band was?
Yeah, Michael Jackson knew what we were doing, and I don't know, maybe the publicist told him like this is like from that show or whatever, but he knew of me and was very gracious and said, "I love what you're doing. Keep up the good work."
Wow.
It was at the height of our career. Obviously, I think All or Nothing had just came out.
Wow. Well, I know, we did just lose Aaron Carter. I know Ryan, I was going to talk to Ryan about this, but I know you're involved, and this is going to air after it's announced. I know it's being announced next week, like Angel Conrad, his sister, and Lance Bass, they're holding a benefit in January. Talk to me about that, because I think you're going to be a part of that, right?
I will be there. Yeah, I will be there. I knew Aaron for a long time. We were from Florida, part of Transcon management company. Known since he was a kid. He toured with Pop 2000, the first inception of Pop 2000. He was with us, and he was an enormous talent, incredible talent. Like I remember seeing him for the first time that first couple of shows, and I was blown away at like how talented he actually really was. I think I sort of underestimated his talent, but he had demons and he had issues that he was dealing with, and from maybe some trauma and obviously some mental illness. And when you meet someone like that, and him and we grew close, but then there were moments where you felt really distant from him, and those were sad, because I remember having a conversation with him in a bathroom stall, and I was telling him there had been some tweets going out, and I was just talking to him, and I'm like, dude, like,